but I feel like aliens are going to be near the end of the revelations. They're going to start telling us they're required under these treaties. When I say they, I mean our government and the governments of other countries are required under these treaties to start telling us the truth.
Talking, only action. Stay still, won't get you no reaction. Satisfaction, guaranteed. I got the dose giving you what you need. Going broke, the only thing I fear. 365, I'm grinding all year. No talking, only action. Bear witness and follow the chain reaction. Flow by the born, but my roots come from Texas. En inglés y español, a totally different flavor.
Alright YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another vlog. As you can tell by the title of this video, I was at the Edinburgh UFO Festival this year. Now, I wasn't planning on releasing a vlog on it. I was, but then I wasn't, because it's a 3-day event, but I only made it to the last day, which was the day of the conference. And I didn't know the rules, regulations, or how everything was allowed. So I didn't really take my camera in there, but I still got a little bit of footage. I got some clips here. I got a lot of pictures, a lot of dope stuff like that. So I have enough footage, enough content that I want to give you guys a short clip just so you guys can get an idea of what it was like in there. Dope experience, by the way. But next year, for sure, I will try my best to make it to the 3-day event, because there was a lot of stuff. I really regret not going, but hey, you live and you learn. But this is my trip, this is my adventure at the Edinburgh UFO Festival 2022. So y'all check it out. Like I said, these are just bits and pieces. There's some good stuff, there's some boring stuff, but a little bit of everything. And I'll also include some of the pics of some of the stuff I got there, and all the speakers and all that will be linked down below in the description. A lot of, some of the people from Ancient Aliens were there. I bought a couple books, stuff like that. So you want to see more of that? Make sure you hit that link down below.
But what I'm really up here to do is that I want to introduce my mentor. And his biography is about 17 pages long because he's that famous. So, Mr. Peter Robbins is such a wonderful writer, and I'm an aspiring writer. Like I said, I want to write my survival guide. And I remember one of the very first things he ever told me was, look kid, stay away from people that all they want to do is make money. Also stay away from people that have something to prove. Also, don't get stuck in an elevator with them. And with that, here is my most beloved, the honorable, the amazing, the famous Peter Robbins.
Happened in 1989 was a different place, and the times were very different. And it's important to just take 2 short minutes or so, maybe 3, on a little background, so that, especially for the younger people who were not around then, that you have a sense of where the world was at that moment. America's a big country. We have 3 different time zones. Russia has 10. The size of the country was brought home to me in almost, at this point in my life, hard to imagine year that I took, heading out with a pack on my back to see the world, as I was told young men are supposed to do. I worked my way across the ocean on a freighter. I drifted east. Again, times were very different. The dollar was strong. There were places you could go then that you can't go now. And I ended up returning from months of walking around India and Nepal, and Afghanistan, and Pakistan, through the Soviet Union. I wanted to see the Soviet Union, if only for a week. I'm thinking now, when we think about Russia, we all think one thing. Terrible leader, horrible war. But I grew up with the people I knew, among the people I knew best. My family, Russian Americans, who I loved. And now, it's a different I traveled through the Soviet Union. I was happy that my parents had left when they did. And I am proud to be Russian American, realizing now there is some Ukrainian in there too. So this is a personal talk, and at the same time, a very objective one. Part of the challenge we face on this story is that even among the world of UFO researchers, this is what we call a one-off. The scenario and the description of the beings is so different than any case that we have encountered before or have encountered since that the normal media ridicule factor. And let's remember, it's only the last few years that newspapers, television, national, international news reports, as well as our elected officials, are starting to take this damn subject seriously. But for most of its life, for the first 70 years, it was a big joke. Flying saucer little green men, I don't have to tell you. And the field day the American media had with this story was over the top in great part because of the uniqueness of the descriptions. We're going to take a look at the event itself, but equally important, the way it was covered. And then, personal aspect, I connected up shortly after, within some months after the event, with a Russian professor of stress and metals who was a resident of the city in question and who was a crack UFO investigator. He and his team were on that location within hours. They wrote a book on it, and we became friends. This was the old days when you did it by mail, and that enriched the information I'm about to give you. Then understood that little spot to the left, that's the Ukraine. A peaceful democracy that was minding its own business for the past 30 years with its own history of hundreds of years that the current leader of Russia decided to invade. Thousands of people killed so far. God only knows how it's going to end up. Peeking above the garment, it then climbed out of the craft, climbed down the tree, as did a small, squarish, robot-like entity or entities, depending on the account. A luminous rectangle appeared under them when they stepped onto the ground. It disappeared when the taller being made a sound. The being touched some knobs on the robot's chest, and the two began to move. It received immediate press and broadcast coverage all over the Soviet Union. Now, what we're going to see here are a number of Soviet artist descriptions that appeared in various Russian publications within the first few days of these beings. And I think you can already see how different these humanoid type beings and this little box-like, I guess, their version of R2-D2, are from any other case that we've ever had in the history of UFO studies. The drawings to the right are some of the children's drawings of what they observed. Well, these drawings. Another compilation of the images. Now, as we're going to learn at a certain point, these beings walking, moving through the park. And the press release used the word promenading. It's an old-fashioned word. It's kind of arcane. Nobody uses it now for walking.
But I feel like aliens are going to be near the end of the revelations. They're going to start telling us they're required under these treaties. When I say they, I mean our government and the governments of other countries are required under these treaties to start telling us the truth. Our true history, what truly happened. So yes, it very well could be that this is part of the preparation, and it's a very, very slow process. And don't forget, there was this thing called the Brookings Report that NASA commissioned in 1958, right after they were formed, that said, if you find evidence of aliens out there on the moon or out there on Mars, it's okay to tell people, but not without a long-term period of cultural preparation. So it feels like that's what we're in the middle of.
And that was my adventure at the Edinburgh UFO Festival, you know, for 2022. Let me know what y'all think of it, what y'all think of the clips, all that good stuff, the pictures, all that. Like I said, y'all want to see an updated version next year? Y'all hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff, man. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that notification bell so you can be notified first when I drop new content. And make sure you follow me on social media, you know, Instagram right there. And then again, all the links will be linked down below. You can follow me on Twitter right there. You know what I'm saying? And for all the exclusive content of stuff that I don't post here on other social media platforms, hit me on TikTok right there. You know what I'm saying? All the links will be linked down below as always. And I appreciate y'all for watching. And I'll see you guys on another episode of One Man Click TV.